Hi everybody, and welcome back to, oh gosh, I look a mess. Okay, and so, obviously, I always forget to reintroduce myself. I'm a hot mess. Okay, this dog has got a lot to say today. Carl. Hi everybody, and welcome back to Azaria's Place. If you're new to my channel, I'm Azaria. This is my place. I talk about Disney theater and The Sims, and here we are. So 2 weeks ago I started doing this Disney Dudes bracket. The last time I did a bracket for a theater video, I realized that 2 parts might be the best way to go with this, and that way I'm not trying to crunch in all of my thoughts and feelings into one video. So I decided to do 2 parts of this bracket. So if you want to see the first half of this video, make sure you tune in and I'll link it below in case you want to watch it. But yeah, I kind of surprised myself. So I did mention that I did previously do this bracket recently, but some of my answers have changed. So I am intrigued to see who gets very far and how this turns out today. This is where my bracket was in shape last time I left it, and I'm excited. I think, oh, there's a dog barking outside. Rather loudly, actually. But anyways, I am going to start. Up first is Aladdin versus Eric, which honestly, I feel like I want to skip it and come back to it because I can't remember what I was going based off of. I think this was a combination of like attractiveness and personality traits. And honestly, Eric is really a stand-up guy, and so is Aladdin. I mean, Aladdin kind of lied a bit, but I mean, it was all for a good reason, right? But I think that if I was going off of solely attractiveness, I'd pick Eric, but I think we're going off of personality as well, and I think we get to know Aladdin a little bit more than we get to know Eric. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with Aladdin this time, just because I feel like I can't not go with Aladdin this time. So we've got Philip and Charming, which honestly, there's no doubt in my mind. I think I mentioned in the last video, we don't really get to know Prince Charming until the 3rd Cinderella movie, but honestly, I've got some beef with Charming anyways, because I just still don't understand how you danced a whole night with the girl and didn't know her name. You know? I give Philip kind of a pass because he did dance with a girl in the woods, didn't know her name either, I don't think. But they had such a shorter amount of time. You're gonna tell me that you danced with this girl for hours and you didn't really talk to her at all? Like, you didn't know where she lived, where she was from. I mean, she probably lied about some of it too, but like Philip, at least, it ended up being the girl he was supposed to marry. Like, he was already betrothed to her in the first place. So I guess Philip gets kind of a pass. But even in terms of, like, I think attractiveness, I'd still probably pick Philip over Charming. I think that Charming is not as attractive because I have some beef with him as a person. And it's a movie. It's a cartoon. I don't know why I'm taking this so seriously. Okay, up next is John Smith versus Tarzan, which is really interesting because I think, again, attractiveness, John Smith. But Tarzan, I love Tarzan so much. It makes me so mad that Tarzan's not on this sweatshirt. I don't understand how Hercules and Kronk got on here, but not Tarzan. I love Tarzan. He's just like a caring person. I think that we see, I don't even care. Tarzan. I don't even care. We're going with Tarzan. He's just such a caring person, and I mean, he becomes more educated, and he wants to make Jane happy, and like, it's so cute, but then he also kind of chooses his family over her, and then she chooses him kind of over her family. But then her dad's like, I'll stay too, why not? Tarzan's a bit of a mama's boy, but in like the best way. I like Tarzan a lot. I'm gonna go with Tarzan. Okay, Tadashi and David. David, stand-up guy, and I think that's why David won in this last round that I did. Just because David, like, he genuinely just cares for Nani. But I will say I think that Tadashi just genuinely cares for people, you know? Not just the girl he wants to date, which we don't see a love interest for Tadashi. That would hurt a lot if we did, oh my gosh. But I do love in movies like Big Hero 6 and even Onward, where you get to see a different kind of love that's not just significant others. I do like that you can see, like in Frozen, you have that sisterly love, although there is a love story element to it, as hurtful as it is. I like that in Big Hero 6 we get to see a different kind of love and even grief, just different kinds of feelings you can have because of the love you have for someone. Yeah, so Tadashi loves his little brother, and he loves people, and he genuinely just wants to make a difference in the world. And he has an interesting and diverse group of friends. I think that Tadashi, he has so many layers, and I wish we could have seen more of him. I do like Tadashi a lot. I still stand by it. I'm gonna pick Tadashi. David, I think, is a really good guy, though. I think that if you were going for boyfriend material, both of them, honestly. Both of them. But one of them is a little, not alive. So, watch Big Hero 6, everybody. Okay, so we're on to the other side, which is very exciting. So Adam or Riley's dad. And I think I pick Riley's dad more as a joke, but also, I mean, I don't know. Triton's kind of not my first choice, but if I had to pick, and I think a lot of people were surprised by me picking Adam, and I think it was more just attractiveness, if I'm being honest here. They're the same person. It's like I'm picking one's personality over the other. And I guess, technically, if I were to think about Prince Adam, I could think about Adam before he was cursed, like young Adam, and we see that, and I think Belle's Enchanted Christmas, we see him as like a young spoiled brat a little bit. So I didn't even think about that when I was doing this last round. Too late to turn back now, I guess. Like, I don't even know what I'd be judging these two on. You know what? I think it's kind of funny. I'm just gonna pick Riley's dad. I don't have any real concrete reasons. I think that her parents genuinely cared for her, though, even though they're not the stars of the movie. Our emotions are. I think that even in the memories, we see that they're just loving parents. And you know what? He's one half of her parents. I'm just going to pick him. Why not? Phoebus versus Gaston is no competition for me. I would rather have the seemingly could be a bad guy that chooses good over the just awful guy. You know, I'd rather just have a changed heart than a genuinely vain person and tries to kill someone because he's jealous. Because he tried to steal his girl. Or who he thought was his girl. I am laughing, though. My boyfriend's really into Reddit, and he sent me this weird, like, Disney theory about Gaston, like, having to save the village, and that's why he eats so many eggs or something like that. I'm laughing about that. Maybe I'll find that and link that below for anyone who wants to read about that theory. It's really funny. I'm really into Disney theories, and some of them just make me laugh, and that's one of them. Okay, so Scar versus Mufasa. I mean, again, there's no competition for me here. I'd rather have a good guy than the bad guy who tries to kill someone. So, that's just me. But also Mufasa, I mean, rest in peace again, but also, obviously, stand-up guy, stand-up dad. He just tries his best. And he also was a leader, and he was a great leader. He was a beloved leader, and rest in peace. So, Mufasa. Okay. Simba versus Woody, which, I'd rather have the one that looks more human-like in this case, because there's a lot of animals on this side of the bracket for whatever reason, but I think that, you know, Woody's a toy, one, but if Woody was a real person, I think I would really he's just a great guy. I'm gonna pick Woody. He's a great guy. His voice actor's Tom Hanks. What more could you want, you know? And I think that, again, good leader. I think that he gets a little jealous a little easily, though. I think that that's probably Woody's one fault. He wants to be in charge and he wants to run the show, which is not bad. Not everybody's cut out for leading. And Simba, I think, also proves that not everyone's cut out for leading at times, and he had to just kind of come into his own. But I think the only reason Simba's losing for me is that he's a lion. Okay, Aladdin versus Philip. I mean, there's no question for me here. We don't know nearly as much about Philip as we do Aladdin. And again, Aladdin just does so much just to be with the girl, and it's kind of cute and sweet. I don't know. I've had many conversations with my boyfriend about this, because why couldn't he just wish the law to be changed? Why is he not actually a prince when he wishes for it? So many questions. But he does try his hardest to be a prince for Jasmine. Tarzan or Tadashi? This is hard. I think Tadashi made it very far in my bracket the last time I did this, and again, Tarzan, I think, also very caring person. I mean, he genuinely cares about his family, even though he eventually learns that they could never really possibly be his family. They are still your family, you know? Family's not always who you're born into. I think that Tarzan just is a great example of that. But again, Big Hero 6, I love that movie. I love Tadashi. And I feel like I know more about Tarzan than I do about Tadashi. But in just the little bit that he's in the movie, you get to know the kind of person he is. He cares about his family as well. He cares about other people. And Tarzan likes animals, but I'm assuming, you know, Tadashi probably loves animals too. I never thought I'd find myself wrestling with Tadashi versus Tarzan. I don't even know. This is hard. Okay, I'm gonna go with Tadashi just because I think he deserved better. Maybe that's a pity vote. I don't know. We're gonna go Tadashi. Riley's dad or Phoebus, and I think at this point the joke has died. So I'm gonna go with Phoebus. I do really love Phoebus. He cares for Esmeralda, and maybe that motivates him to do a lot of the things, but he, I think, grows to care for Quasimodo as well. So I do like he's kind of the bad guy turned good in a sense, or he becomes woke in the movie. One of those people that has just an eye-opening experience and realizes like everything he thought is wrong and he was misinformed, and people should not be categorized as one thing. Man, this is getting down to the wire. Okay, so we have Mufasa versus Woody. And I think, again, it's going with why I picked Woody over Simba, and it's just, you know, one of them is more human-like. I have seen, though, some really amazing artists will do a lot of the Disney animal characters as humans. So I have seen, like, some really cool human versions of Simba and Mufasa. But I think I'm gonna go with Woody. He's a little more light than Mufasa, I think. I think he's a little more cheerful than Mufasa. Mufasa very much is, like, a different kind of leader and is very much, like, serious all the time. And he has his moments where we hear him laugh and whatnot in the film. But I think overall Mufasa is just more serious than Woody is. And I think it's because Woody's a toy, you know? Mufasa just seems very by the book all the time, which I think Woody is too, but he's a little more lighthearted, I think. Oh, man. This is not how my bracket was at all. I had Kristoff making it very far the last time I did this. So this is a change some events. I don't think Aladdin made it very far. I think Eric made it very far instead the last time I did this. Because I think I was going more on looks than on traits and actual characteristics. So this is hard. I'm going to do this side first, and it's Phoebus versus Woody. I'm going to go with Phoebus because going off of what I was just saying about Woody, he's a little more lighthearted and funny. And I think I mentioned in the last video that Phoebus has some funny moments. You know, when he tells Achilles to heal and he sits on the soldier. And he's got a good sense of humor. He's funny. He's helpful. I mean, he was a soldier. And he's kind of beautiful, you know? And Phoebus means sun god, so... which I think is a line in the movie. So if anyone didn't get that reference, you should watch Hunchback. Aladdin versus Tadashi, that's so hard. It shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be this hard, but it is. I think it's one of those things that Tadashi wants to help a wider audience of people. Aladdin really wants to help himself. Find love. Finding love. Not a bad thing. Wanting to perfect like a healthcare system that will help many people. I mean, not a bad call, right? He's just very selfless. Whereas Aladdin is technically only really helping himself. But then he decides to still free the genie, even though it means he won't get what he wants. That does tug at my heartstrings a little bit. He had the opportunity to be selfish, and then he wasn't. And we do see him contemplate, like, not setting the genie free, but then he still decides to do it. And I can't, like, judge them on, like, love or based on love because one of them never got the chance to find it. I feel like I'd be betraying him by not picking Aladdin. I think I'm gonna go with Tadashi. That was really hard. I'm really sorry, Aladdin. Who is gonna win it all, Tadashi or Phoebus? And I think I've been pulling really hard for Tadashi this whole video. And I think I want to avenge him, you know? I think this is my way of paying homage to Tadashi. At this point, I feel like there's no competition. It's also interesting that none of these people that made it, except for Aladdin, none of them are Disney princes, which is weird. Hey, you don't need to be a prince to make it very far. Anybody can be a prince. Man, this is hard. I'm gonna go with Tadashi. He's a family man. He cares for his little brother. He cares for a lot of people, and he wants to make a difference. He's using science to make a difference. And I don't know about you, but I think we could use a Baymax right about now. I think that Tadashi Hamada is everything we could strive to be. And it's actually really funny because I'm actually underneath my sweatshirt. Ironically, I'm wearing a Hero and Baymax t-shirt, which is very funny and kind of fitting. So there we go. That was not planned, but Tadashi is apparently the best Disney dude. If you want to hear a really cool Disney theory, though, if you have seen Big Hero 6, Super Carlin Brothers, awesome YouTubers, and they have one about Big Hero 6 and about, I think, Hero being Tadashi. so you should go watch that. But anyways, it's a Disney themed episode, which means you get a Disney fun fact with your Disney episode. So since Tadashi Hamada was the winner, I decided to make my Disney fun fact about Big Hero 6. And Big Hero 6 actually is based on the Marvel comic books of the same name. And Baymax's motions are actually modeled after Baby penguins. And now that I've said that, you probably will never unsee that image of Baymax waddling with penguins. So that is today's Disney fun fact for today, and so on to the show tune Spotlight. So sticking with the theme of Big Hero 6, I decided to make today's show tune Spotlight none other than Immortals by the band Fall Out Boy, and the song was written for the film, which premiered in 2014, and the Big Hero 6 soundtrack was composed by Henry Jackman. Honestly, if you haven't seen Big Hero 6, you are missing out. It is such a great movie. I tell people I love the movie all the time. For some reason, Big Hero 6 always takes the cake for me. I can rewatch it all the time. And again, Tadashi Hamada is everything to me. So I would just give that a watch and give Immortals a listen. If you like Fall Out Boy, you will probably like this song if you haven't heard it by now. And as I said previously, I will sometimes interchange the songs that are in Disney movies for theater songs just because I think they fit. So even though this may not be your average show tune, I think it is just as great and just as fun. So anyways, tune in this weekend for my Sim Saturday, and thank you guys so much for watching, and be kind.